I was sprawled across a ditch, my leg pinned under twisted steel, when the cold realization seeped into my bones. No one was coming for me. Not then, not ever. The silence wasn't just silence, it was a verdict. My life, everything I'd built, everything I'd given away so freely, was unraveling under a bruised sky. For years, I had carried people on my shoulders, people I called family. Yet here I was, bleeding, broken, unseen. They were somewhere far away, laughing over cocktails, blissfully blind to the fact that I might not survive the night. Before we dive deeper into this story, make sure you subscribe for more powerful stories like this one. And tell me in the comments the city or town you're watching from. I'd love to know your corner of the world. Now let's dive in. 6 days ago, I was wheeled into a clinic that reeked of antiseptic and despair. The white walls closed in on me, sterile and suffocating. My leg was fractured in 2 places, my wrist badly sprained, and a gash carved across my forehead pulsed with every heartbeat. A paramedic had said I was lucky to have skidded off a wet coastal road on my motorcycle, tumbled into a ravine, and lived to tell the tale? Maybe. But lying there alone, stitched together by strangers, I felt anything but fortunate. I kept waiting, for my phone to light up, for someone who claimed to love me to ask if I was still breathing. My brother, Aaron. My mother, Carla. My father, Victor. They were my blood, the ones I had kept afloat for years. I had bailed Aaron out of his gambling debts more times than I could count. I paid Carla's electricity bills when she forgot again. I bought Victor a full set of new tires last summer. It was always me, the fixer, the provider, the invisible scaffolding holding up their shaky world. But in that clinic, I was just a broken man in a bed. No calls. No visitors. Just the beep of a monitor and a doctor who called me buddy as if he'd known me his whole life. I didn't cry. I didn't beg. I just stared at the flickering fluorescent light above me, wondering if I had ever really mattered to the people who claimed to be mine. On the 4th day, I finally unlocked my phone. 82 missed calls. My heart leapt. Maybe, just maybe, they cared. But as I scrolled, reality hit harder than the crash. Not a single call asked if I was alive. Not one. Instead, I saw a text from Victor. Call us. It's important. For a split second, my chest warmed. Then I opened our family group chat. And there it was. Aaron, grinning at some rooftop bar, clinking glasses. Caption, City Vibes. Carla's reply. So proud of you, honey red heart. Post after post, neon lights, steak dinners, selfies with skylines. They were celebrating life. The very life I had funded for years. While I lay in bed, stitches biting into my skin, dirt still stuck between my teeth from the crash. I scrolled until my vision blurred, searching desperately for a single message that asked, "Where's Ethan?" Nothing. I wanted to smash the phone into the tiled wall. I wanted to scream, to tear the sterile sheets apart. Instead, I froze. Not just my heart. Not just my hope. I froze the accounts. Every debit card Aaron had treated like his personal piggy bank. Every autopay Carla had linked to my name. Every insurance Victor had quietly let me cover. My fingers were steady, but my chest was tight. It felt like severing puppet strings I'd let them pull for too long. When I finally called Victor back, his voice was thin, frantic. "Ethan, what's happening?" "Aaron's card got declined. Carla's Netflix isn't working. We've been trying to reach you." I let the silence stretch, sharp and heavy. Then I told him. I told him about the crash. The clinic. The 4 days I lay unseen. The bar photos that gutted me. He stammered. "We didn't know." Didn't know, or didn't care? I asked why no one wondered where I was. Why no one bothered to check in until their cards stopped working. He muttered excuses about Aaron's rough patch and Carla's busy schedule. He even dared to say I should have called them. That was the moment something inside me snapped. Not my bones. Those were already broken. No, it was the leash I had let them wrap around my throat for years. "I'm done," I said, my voice colder than I'd ever heard it. "No more bailing you out. No more carrying your weight." He tried to protest, but I hung up. The next day, I changed every password, locked every account, cut every cord. I didn't shout. I didn't curse. I just dismantled the life support system I had built for them. The backlash was immediate. Aaron's text, "Why isn't my card working?" Carla's message, "Can you fix this bank thing? Must be a mistake." Victor's voicemail, "This isn't right, Ethan. We're family, right?" Not one word asking how I was. Just demands. Like I was still their servant, their ATM in human form. By day 6, Aaron's voice cracked in his voicemails, ranting about how he'd been humiliated at a nightclub. Carla's texts grew sharper, accusing me of selfishness. Victor tried one last time, his message soft, desperate. But I laughed. A bitter, hollow laugh that echoed in my bare apartment. Because family? Family doesn't leave you to bleed alone. And then came the final insult. An email. From Carla. Subject line in her neat cursive. For you, Ethan. Attached was a letter, 2 full pages. Not of apology. Not of concern. No. It was manipulation, polished and heartless. She called me the rock of the family. Said Aaron just needed a small loan. Attached was a promissory note, complete with percentages and repayment terms. I didn't reply. I printed it. And then I watched it burn in my sink, the smoke curling like the lies they'd wrapped around me. But the real blow? That came from someone outside the family. At 10:13 p.m., a text from an unknown number. It was Leo, Aaron's old roommate. He said Aaron had tracked him down, spinning tales that I had lost my mind, that I'd cut them off over a petty argument, that I was unstable. Aaron was crashing in a friend's garage, telling anyone who'd listen that I was the villain. I told Leo everything. The crash, the clinic, the years of financial support. He was quiet, absorbing it all. The next morning, he sent me a screenshot. Carla's Instagram. A photo of her hands folded in prayer. Caption, some people lash out when they're hurting. Pray for us. The comments flooded in. Strangers comforting her, calling me unstable, wishing her strength. They couldn't drain my bank anymore. So, they drained my reputation instead. That was the final wake-up call. Family isn't who shares your blood. It's who shows up when your world shatters. They weren't my family. They were leeches I had kept alive while they forgot I existed. Yesterday I moved. New city. New number. New life. No one knows where I am. Not even Leo. But I kept one thing. A folder. Screenshots of Aaron's rooftop bar posts. Carla's manipulative email. Victor's empty promises. The fraud alert when Aaron tried to pull $1,200 from my old savings account. Not for revenge. Not to hold over their heads. But to remind myself. To never go back. Sometimes, freedom tastes like grief. Like burying a family that never really was. But with each passing day, that grief lightens. My chest feels less heavy. My nights less haunted. I'm not their crutch anymore. I'm not their shadow. I'm just Ethan. Alive. Free. And finally whole. If this struck you, if you've ever carried people who never saw you, who drained you until you had nothing left, drop a comment, share your story, and hit subscribe. We're building something real here, something stronger than blood.